Let's debunk some hair myths. If you're new to my channel and if you're not, welcome back. I'm Mike. I'm a hairdresser, a L'Oreal color specialist, a makeup fan and a skincare lover. In today's film we're going to be debunking top 10 hair myths. So you guys, if you want to sit with me on this one, then you better keep on watching. What is the story, everyone? In today's film we're going to be debunking some of the most popular hair myths, and the reason I'm doing this film is because people still believe in those myths, and no matter how much you say to people, they're just like, yeah. And I'm just going to debunk them and tell you the truth and the hairdressing side of it and why they are false or why they are true. So you guys, let's get right into it. Plucking your grey hair makes more grow. This is such an old myth, and whoever came up with that, please. So there's no scientific reasons that if you pluck out one hair, more will grow. Because if that was the case, I'd be plucking out all my hair on my head just to get more hair. But plucking out one grey hair will not make more of grey hair to appear. If you've watched my film about grey hair, you know that as we get older we lose melanin in our skin and melanin in our hair, and that's what makes the hair go grey or white. So if you pluck out one grey hair, you're not going to get 3 grey hair on top of that, because I mean that way I'd be plucking out everything just to get more hair. Colour takes better on dirty hair. Now this is a very old myth, and I remember like people years ago telling me that, and I always thought about it as like, well, why would colour take better on dirty hair? This is actually false. Colour does not take better on dirty hair. First of all, I think it's very disrespectful if you go to your hairdresser with very dirty, oily hair. I mean, we have to put our hands through it. It's not very pleasant. But why people think that colour takes better on dirty hair? It doesn't. If there's actually buildup of product or grease on the hair, the colour might not actually take really good because there's a barrier. And I know especially nowadays people use the spray touch-ups, and I mean that puts a barrier on your hair, so we cannot see what's underneath that. So it's always better to come in with cleaner hair. The only reason why I think people would say that colour takes better on dirty hair is because years ago hair color was very aggressive. If the scalp is actually freshly washed, the color might actually irritate the scalp slightly, and that is known. Like if you're getting a full bleach up or full color and you're after washing your hair, it's not really a good idea because you're actually opening the hair follicles and cuticles, and it just might get a bit sensitive. But no, color does not take better if your hair is greasy. Can't dye my hair if I'm pregnant. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do when you're pregnant. I've never been pregnant. I'm not planning on being pregnant, and I don't know much about pregnancy, to be honest. But dyeing your hair when you're pregnant is not bad for you. A very tiny bit of color stains your scalp and can actually get onto the blood flow, and the color is not strong enough to actually penetrate the scalp. If you had a cut on your scalp or something, you shouldn't get your color done anyways, but the color is not strong enough to actually get inside your scalp and go into the blood flow. The only thing that might happen is if you're going blonde because you're hormonal during pregnancy, the color might just take differently, but overall color is very safe when you're pregnant. And if you get highlights, you're actually not touching the scalp, so I mean color is perfectly safe, and highlighting is even better because there's no contact with skin and color. You should switch up your shampoos and conditioners every couple of months. When it comes to this one, I hear that one every single day in the hair salon. Clients be like, oh, I've been using this shampoo for a while, I need to get a new one. Should I change it up? Because apparently shampoos stop working when you're using it for quite some time. And I always say to them, I'm like, listen, is it working for your hair? She's like, yeah. Does your hair feel better? Yeah. Then why would you switch? I think this is a very stupid myth. It's a myth that doesn't make sense, but there is some truth behind it, right? Let's say if your hair is severely dry, right? So we've really dry hair and we've got a hair care for really dry hair, so we've been treating it, we've been religiously using the same shampoo, conditioner and heat protector or whatever oil just to treat the dryness. The minute you treat the dryness and the dryness is treated, you don't need that shampoo and a conditioner. So yeah, technically the shampoo will stop working because the hair doesn't need that amount of nutrient. But if your hair is still dry, keep using it. So no, changing up your shampoo and conditioner all the time is actually not good for your hair, because if you change it up too much and you haven't treated the concern of your hair, nothing's gonna ever help. It's like your skincare. I always refer to hair care as skincare. If you've dry skin and you use a cream for a month and then you stop, and then you switch up to a different cream, your skin didn't have enough time to actually hydrate and change the structure, etc, etc. It's same with the hair. If you use something for dry hair and then you change up after a month, that's not enough time to actually treat the dryness or the certain concern of your hair. Rinsing your hair with cold water will make your hair grow. Guys, we all have that one friend or that one mom's friend or someone in the family that says, my mother always done a cold rinse on her head and she had a full head of hair. If she had a full head of hair, fair play to her, but it has nothing to do with cold water. First of all, cold water would not cleanse the hair, so we do need warm water to actually clean the hair properly. Cold water will technically seal the cuticle, but so does conditioner. So I mean, the whole cold water thing is really a silly myth. Now, I've heard people saying to me, well, Victoria Beckham has a cold shower. I'm like, well, that's Victoria Beckham, and if you think you're gonna look like Victoria Beckham, half her skin and hair, if you have a cold shower, well then fair play to you, because you need to think twice. So no, cold water does actually nothing for your hair. And if your hair is curly, cold water will actually make it even more frizzy. So the whole cold water thing, I mean, it's nice and refreshing and we feel better, but it will not actually do anything to your hair. Brushing your hair will make it greasy. Yes and no. Now, brushing your hair itself would not make it greasy. What brushing will do is, right, as we all know, our scalp gets greasy and not our hair. So if we overbrush our hair, we're literally taking the oils, the grease from the scalp, and help that to travel onto the ends. So no, brushing your hair doesn't make the hair greasy, but brushing your hair actually helps the oils to travel onto the ends. But I mean, if you brush your hair, you're not technically making it greasy, like, it's just a myth. Color will lighten color. No. Once you have hair color in your hair, you can only ever go darker with your hair, or you can get highlights to lighten it up. If you have color in your hair and you want to go lighter, it's literally like building a wall against your hair. Once there's color on the hair and there's pigmentation in the hair, you cannot lift that unless you're getting highlights or you're using so-called bleach or you're cleansing the hair. You can only ever go darker with the color. So if you color your hair for a very long time and you're nice brunette and then you're like, right, I actually want to go like 2 shades lighter, you can't do that with color. It's just impossible, because color does not lift color, and that's #1 rule of hair coloring. So for example, if you dye your hair one color and you find it too dark, if you're going to put another color on top of it to try to lighten that up, that's just not going to work. Cutting your hair makes it grow faster. Now, that's a very interesting one, because as you all know, us hairdressers, we always tell clients, right, come back for a little trim every 6 weeks or 8 weeks. But cutting your hair doesn't actually make it grow faster. So what cutting your hair does is avoid split ends. So if your hair is really split and you cut those split ends off, your hair will actually grow better. And what do I mean by that? Now, that's a very technical question to answer, but I'm gonna give it a go. So if you have a strand of hair, right? Imagine this is a strand of hair and it's slightly split. So it's split like that. If we're gonna cut them split ends, this is what we're gonna end up with, right? Is that kind of, is the visual making sense? So we have a nice, healthy hair. If your hair is split and you're not cutting it, or if you only cut a tiny bit off it, the hair is going to split and split and split and split more and eventually break, and so you're actually going to end up losing length. So yeah, trimming your hair will help your hair to grow better, but won't make it grow faster. It's just going to keep it healthier, because if your hair is split, it will just keep splitting and splitting and splitting, and that's how you lose length. Stress causes graying. Now, as we all know, how graying happens is we lose pigmentation in our hair and basically our hair starts growing white. So stress doesn't really make your hair go grey. Now, we've heard of cases of trauma or anything like that that could cause your hair growing grey, but it's all to do with pigmentation of your hair. So if you're really stressed, I don't think you could be stressed enough that your whole body is going to lose all the pigmentation in the hair. I know there has been cases of people having big trauma or accidents, and that could cause your hair to go grey simply because you lose melanin in your skin and in your hair. But no, we just lose pigmentation, and if you have an exam and you're really stressed, you're not going to go grey. Washing your hair too much is bad. I am very anti people that don't wash their hair too often. If your hair needs a wash, wash it. Simple as that. If your hair is dirty, wash it. Would you ever skip a shower And I'm being serious, would you ever skip a shower or not wash your face? No, it's hygiene. Like, if your hair needs a wash, you need to wash it. Now, the only reason people say that washing your hair too often could be bad is because if you're washing your hair more often, you're using more heat because you're using a hairdryer more often. You might be using straighteners more often. Like, if you wash your hair every day and you straighten, you're not using heat protector, you're damaging the hair with straightening your hair, not with washing your hair. Like, I nearly wash my hair on the daily and my hair is fine. So yeah, washing your hair is not bad for your hair. If your hair needs a wash, wash it. Don't be thinking like, right, natural oils, or, you know, be thinking that, oh, my hair is going to get greasier sooner, or that it's going to be bad for your hair. No, the only reason why washing your hair too often could be bad for you is like that. If you're gonna wash it more often, you're gonna style it more often. If you're not using heat protector, you're damaging the hair with heat. So you guys, when it comes to top 10 hair myths, I think some of them are absolutely ridiculous, and I hope I debunked all of them and just helped you understand them better. Please let me know in the comment section down below of any myths that you know that I might have not covered, and what are the myths you believe in or the myths you don't believe in, and any unusual things that someone told you about hair that you were like, really? Is that making sense? Anyways guys, thank you for watching today's film. I hope you found this film rather interesting, helpful and useful. Please like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my other social media. And of course you guys, please take care. Bye.